going to be going through is Joel chapter 3. I didn't have nothing to go through, and it was Sakalon that brought it up. Joel chapter 3, the whole chapter. So who wants to do it? Who wants to stand up and do it? Break down. Nobody? Did you do breakdown before? We need somebody new. Okay, come on. All right, come on. Let's get your reader. You can come right here. Come right here with your reader. And y'all gonna take care of the brother. You're gonna take care of the brother, right? We're gonna take care of him. Y'all gonna take him out in the town, man. Take care of him, man. You know?
Get him some wild women.
Don't get him no women. You don't like the New York women. They no good. Come on, let's go.
First off, we give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Ruach. As always, double honors to the apostles, GMS, and Torah and truth. We're going to jump right into it, Joel, 3rd chapter.
All right. Joel chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations.
Okay, so this is a future prophecy. While the Most High is actually gathering the elect, all right, brothers is coming into this fold. The Lord is also gathering the heathen over in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. This is where you got the BRICS linking up. All right, you got Russia. They actually set up train lines through Syria. All right, with Syria, they was linking up with Iran. So there's a lot of nations that's linking up over in the Middle East. So there's a gathering of the elect, and there's a gathering of the heathen.
And will bring them down into the Valley of Jehoshaphat.
Right. That's Yahweh Shaphat, meaning the Most High's judgment. All right, they got to be judged because they all took part in ruling over Israel, you know, and pretty much having us as servants. All right, so this is going to be the judgment through the Babylonian Empire, Medo-Persian, Grecian Empire. All right, they all pretty much had their foot up under us, man.
And will plead with them there for my
Where's
people.
the Valley of Jehoshaphat located today?
The Valley of Jehoshaphat today would be Persian Gulf? Persian Gulf.
Persian
Water.
Gulf.
Water.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 9. For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon, which is America, and the assembly of great nations. We see them great nations coming together. You see North Korea visiting Russia and also Russia gave North Korea an ICBM nuclear missile that's able to hit Japan, South Korea, and the United States. So that assembly of great nations consists of Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, Pakistan, India, Ethiopia, Libya. These different nations will come together that's going to bend the bow against America, pursuant to Ezekiel 37th chapter. You know, so in this little more it says, for lo, I will raise the cause to come up against Babylon, which is America, and the assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her, military formation. And they go shoot missiles off on this bitch. It says, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From this she shall be taken. Their arrows, which are the supersonic, hypersonic, and ICBM nuclear missiles, shall be as a mighty expert man, spiritually guided by Yahweh Shah. It says, none shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil, which is America, another name for America, which is Chaldea, shall be a spoil. All that spoil her, all these different nations that spoil her, that shoot missiles upon her, that destroy this bitch, shall be satisfied, saith the Lord Yahweh. That's right.
Water.
Beautiful.
Oh, God.
The second Esdras 15 and 20. It says, behold, saith the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanon, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them.
Right. That's the nations. Also, Revelations, the 16th chapter speaks on the Euphrates River drying up to prepare the way of the kings of the east. You know,
It says,
Been drying up.
Joel 3 and verse 2.
What was that?
I said the Euphrates rivers has been drying up for the past 2 or 3 years, and they have found caves under the Euphrates rivers. They found artifacts. They found gold up under there. Different things that has been lost when the Euphrates river was a heavy river, was a deep river. You know what I mean? And now it's dried up.
You know what they found out? There's one part of the river where there's a thaw. You know what a thaw is, right?
Wow.
Alpha and Omega, and in Hebrew is Ah and Tha. It's the Alpha and Omega. Omega means the end of something. That's where you get the word omen. So one part of the river, you can see the Tha, which means the end. You know?
Look at
Wow.
that. That's heavy.
Representation.
Yeah,
of
man,
the
it
end.
represents the end.
Joel 3 and 2. I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot.
Right. Hey, that was major during the slave trade. All right, giving a boy for a harlot. All right, you was sold for bottles of wine, sold for gold. All right, that's why the Lord, said, how will you recompense them? You know, these are the things that was going on with Israel. And once again, Daniel's the 7th chapter, it shows you that every empire that ruled over us. All right, and they haven't gotten judged completely for that.
It says, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Right, Tyre Zidon was a major area where the import-export
You know what
would
Esau
happen.
does? You put
All right,
something down.
these would be the Hamites, and they helped assist in the slave trade. The Hamites, the Ishmaelites, Esau, Edom. All right, they all took part, and pretty much Psalms the 83rd chapter it goes into it.
That's a good
know?
precept there. Psalms, the 83rd chapter. You got a precept?
It's Isaiah 47 and 6. I was wroth with my people. I polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. Isaiah chapter 47 verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that saith in thy heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
That's America. You know, she lived carelessly, as you can see. All right. And they don't believe, they think they got the greatest army. They don't believe they're going to get taken down. The people here don't believe America's going to get taken down. That's why that's why nobody's even gathering out here. You know, everything's going on in the news. You just had the companies complaining against Ford, you know, but America is so far people's minds, they don't see that she can ever fall, man. You know?
9, it says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments.
Hey, the perfection of the judgment is those missiles, man. You know, that's what the Lord was waiting for.
Which, like you said, is guided technology. The missiles ain't gonna miss. You know. Once they shot, that's it.
Gone.
Right. It says, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine?
All right, this goes once again going into the Psalms, the 83rd chapter. These are all who took part. And they did it to cut us off from remembrance, because when we remembered the Most High, we were in power. So they had to cut us off from the priesthood, from remember the name of the Lord, and in that way they could just rule and take over. All right?
Yeah, when we call ourselves Africans, they ain't got a problem with it. Call ourselves Muslim, no problem. Call ourselves Israelites, now we got a problem. That should tell us something right there.
that new movie Jay-Z's coming out with, where it's portraying all the people in the Bible as Jake. Esau is having a big uproar about that right now.
Look at that.
So it goes into what you were just saying. If he was doing
I
something
don't know
on
why,
Africa,
because the main character is a fucking faggot.
all that,
The dudes, he played all kind of faggot roles. So fuck, I ain't seen that fucking movie. Fuck that bullshit, man.
Yeah, but they getting mad about it. But if Jake would have done something about Back to Africa, you know, they would have been like, it would have been the best movie since Sliced Bread. You know what I'm saying? The best thing since Sliced Bread.
Yeah, why do they have a
Yeah.
problem with us calling ourselves Israelites? Why is that? Because the top wicked elite of Esau, they've hidden that knowledge for eons, man. They've always known we're the Israelites.
Your brother just made a good point. Even in that Wakanda Forever movie, there it is. You have a movie about Jake having spiritual powers and everything, but the message is we all African. So let that play. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just a fantasy in their head. They don't want Jake getting nothing real in their head. Right now.
Make room, people coming.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. There you go.
It says,
Scriptures don't lie.
will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Right, you can't pay the Most High. It says that in Micah the 7th chapter. You know how should we come before the Most High? Shall He give rivers of oil, you know, or fatted calves? There's no way you can repay the Most High for what you've done to the children of Israel. You know, but the Most High is going to, as it says in Numbers 35. You know, only by blood shall the land be cleansed. That's the only way.
The only recompense is them going into slavery, like they had us in slavery. That's the only recompense.
We had a good precept based on what Apostle George just said, saying that when we call ourselves Israel, there's a problem. This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 8. It says, For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance and the year of recompense, which means payback for the controversy of Zion. If you look up the word controversy, it means dispute. And dispute means a disagreement, an argument, a debate, a territorial dispute between two countries. So you can apply that to two nations. So at the end of the day, the Most High is going to send Yahushua back to say what's what. And obviously, he's going to represent, you know, us, the elect.
Yeah, whose true people are.
Who the true people are.
Yeah. And that's us, man.
Settle the debate.
Hey, earlier I was watching the brother in England. This one dude came up, he said he was Scottish. I don't know if any of y'all saw the video. The brother from England, he's by himself, he teaches out there. The brother, Jonathan, that's his name. He was out there teaching, and this dude from Scotland came up.
Speak loud, huh?
This dude from Scotland came up, right? And he asked, they were dialoguing, and then Jonathan said, look, you're not the real Levites, because he said he was a Levite. And as soon as he said that, the dude just ran away. I mean, you have to watch the video. I don't remember everything, but I do remember that part. As soon as he said, look, you're not the real Levites. The dude he got offended and he just walked away. You know?
I got a piece of book.
Yeah.
See, Esau, it's not with the international bankers. They like to buy people off, pay off countries, you know, and they sell out and become puppet rulers for the sake of Esau. But you can't buy out the Most High. You can't buy the Most High out, you know, and thinking that everything is gonna be okay. This is Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by fire of his jealousy, for he shall make a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land.
God. Hey, I think Russia said we'll do it for 5 rubles or 5 something in a currency, which is pretty much nothing. Rubles. So pretty much, man, you can't pay the Most High judgment off. You know, it's gonna go down.
Going down. Speedy riddance. That's an hour. It's only going to take Yahushua 1 hour
Right.
to destroy this bitch.
Right.
Man. And America is a pretty big place. I mean, what? For you to travel from New York to California, what is that? Like 3 hours? And that's by plane. And that's a plane going at what? 500 miles an hour? 3 hours? So that's a pretty vast place.
Joel 3 and 5. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things.
Right. Hey, the Most High look at us as silver and gold. It says in Malachi that in that day when I make up my Jews. Okay, and also it shows you each tribe representing a specific gem or stone. Okay, so that the Most High actually says that.
This is the book of Lamentations 4:1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuaries are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion comparable to fine gold.
Wow.
There it is.
That's right on the money. Even in the land of Israel, the deeper you go, there's a lot of precious stones in that land. The deeper you go, like up in the mountains and everything, if you do archaeology, you'll find a lot of precious stones in that land.
Wow.
I wonder why.
That's the chosen land.
If I can say something too, also you have in Rome you have the Arch of Titus, right? And it shows you in the Arch of Titus how they basically raided the temple.
Yeah.
It got the menorah, it got all of the goodly and pleasant things that the so-called white man stole from
Yep.
our city, man.
Underneath the ark, they got the murals that show you how proud these devils are. They painted our destruction. Yeah, this is how we took you down. We robbed your treasures. We raided your temples.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
And that's
Judah
how
captain.
you know those are not the real Jews. Because if those were the real Jews, that thing down there on 51st Street would have been destroyed. They would have been took that down already. You know, you can't even say anything about them so-called Jews without them taking down your video on YouTube.
Right.
So imagine, you know, something like that. They would have been took that down.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah, it says, and have carried into your temples my good, pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
Right. Hey, these Grecians is talking about Esau, Edom. And that's why they show you, I believe it was National Treasure or Da Vinci Code, that Esau got all of this elaborate things of the ancient world underneath the Vatican. You know, he has all of this stuff. All right, and we got sold to who? The Grecians. All right, who's the modern day Grecians? Esau, Edom. You know that because they schools, for their colleges, got Greek fraternities. All right, you see it all over the sports. Okay.
Medical terminologies in Greek and Latin.
Con.
Oh yeah, the bodies, deltoids,
Right.
gluteus maximus and all.
And the Olympics, the top Olympics, we got Jake in it. Yeah.
That's right.
Said, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold,
What does that mean?
Remove them far from their border. Move us far from the land.
From the land of Israel. You got that document, the Balfour Declaration, boasting about how they took our land.
Right, deceitfully Esau, yeah, to become make themselves those who are not they're not the real Jews, you know.
it says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them.
Right, and the different captivities. This is why you got Jake waking up all over the world, and they coming into this truth. They calling on the name of the Lord with one consent. All right, they calling themselves Hebrew Israelites. The apostles was going into it earlier. You know, right, and remembering from the rivers of Babylon. You know, they understanding who they are. This is the Great Awakening.
The main place is America. Raise them up. It's the main group of the elect is right here in America, Babylon the Great. Not Africa, Nate. We're saying that all today.
It says, and will return your recompense upon your own head, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah.
And we read that in Isaiah 14, shall possess them who are captives ye were. Revelation also say who leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So this is a fair judgment. Y'all had y'all rule, y'all had y'all way, but now the Lord is about to turn things around. Okay?
Deuteronomy 30 verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
Who persecuted us? Again, Psalms 83, give you the list. The main one is Esau, Edom, and that's the main one who the Most High is going to get at. He's going to get at all the nations pursuing to Joel, the 3rd chapter, which we're going into, but the main one is going to be Esau, Edom. All right?
It says, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off.
Right. Right. This is going to be the new transatlantic slave trade, so to speak. All right, you're gonna be selling them off. They're gonna be auctioned off on the auction blocks, man.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah, beginning with their top banking families.
Yeah, beginning with the.
Real quick, I was watching a documentary earlier, and it was going into how these elite women, when they had the elite plantations that owned thousands of slaves, when the husband was away, what they would do was they would make Jake have sex with them, you know, and if Jake refused, they would either beat the shit out of Jake with whips and everything, and torture them because they had other men that was with them, and then, or they would say, listen, if you don't have sex with me, I'm gonna lie and tell you, I'm gonna say that you're trying to rape me.
Wow.
So a lot of Jake was forced to have sex with these Edomite women. And then when the Edomite women become pregnant, you know, and then a man come back, now they will brutally just kill the Jake that got them pregnant, and then also they would keep the baby. They would keep the baby and then put the baby in slavery. You know, because they knew the baby was a Jake, because they know that the seed come from the man. So they got a lot. You Jakes got. See, you Edomites got a lot to pay for, man.
That's right.
You know.
Right.
And you Jakes that want these Edomites to be saved, to be in the kingdom as well, man. You got Stockholm syndrome. You bugged out, man. For you Jakes, you Israelites saying that you shouldn't hate an Edomite.
Look up Stockholm syndrome. Look it up.
Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, come. It says, I'm gonna read it. It says, Stockholm syndrome, it refers to the bond that can develop between hostages and their captors in hostage taking and kidnapping situations. In some cases, hostages may develop sympathies for their captors and their cause, and even turn against the police. That's the black woman. That's the black women and certain black men that have Stockholm syndrome, man.
Yep. That's that scripture, why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love? That's one scripture that comes to mind.
That emotional bond, the oppression.
Yeah.
Oppression.
Oh, trust in oppression. That's another scripture.
It says, for the Lord have spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles.
Right. This Gentiles is talking about the actual heathens. All right. You got two sets of Gentiles, Israelite foreigners, and then you got the heathens. All right. Those are totally two different. Okay.
Yeah, because the truth is, man, we're not supposed to be working, man. We're supposed to have slaves doing our work. Even now, as I speak. You know, the fact you got to get up 9 to 5 and all that bullshit. We're Israelites, man. We're supposed to have our slaves doing that, doing the work for us.
X is me and I shall give thee the heathen.
That's right. Ain't no 50-50, you know, get along. No, man.
Right.
We're the Israelites and we're over you. All you other nations, we're over you.
Right.
You are slaves.
Right.
It says, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men.
Right. The mighty men. That mighty men, Russia. All right. Now, in the last couple of years, Russia has been a big thing in the news. All right. Well, that's the Lord putting that spirit on them. North Korea, they put out a bunch of propaganda videos showing how fast missiles can hit here. All right, these are the heathen actually waking up. India, they got missiles. All right, Iran, they wouldn't abide to the nuclear deal. All right, why? Because the Most High is putting a spirit of war. All right, and it's all over the news, and it's to fulfill prophecy. It's to fulfill His will.
I'll say one thing too, right? Right, because the Apostle Brothers mentioned guided technology, right? With these missiles, especially the ones that Russia and China has, like the SARS missile,
that can reach America undetected. Right? When you look into it, the way most of these nuclear these intercontinental ballistic missiles are designed, they all are mostly launched into the northern hemisphere, from one continent to the next via the northern hemisphere. What makes Russia and China their technology more advanced than America's and able to go by their detection is the fact that they have missiles that can enter America from the southern hemisphere, meaning they can travel a longer distance than any missile that America has. So the Most High is on point with that. Why are those missiles developed to that extremity? Well, that's the Lord's army. That's Joel, the second chapter. Joel, for you people out there, Joel, the second chapter goes into why you have the nuclear missiles. That's part of the Heavenly Father's army, along with the angels and people. That's why he has the title, the Lord of Hosts, the Lord of Armies.
And that proves that the earth is a sphere. It's not a flat, it's not a flat earth.
Lord of Sabaoth.
Lord of Sabaoth. Yep.
That's why it says, none shall thrust another.
Right.
Those missiles. I mean, you ain't gonna have no surface-to-air missiles hitting it, or none shall, it's gonna malfunction.
Oh, the angels are going to be guiding them
That's right,
missiles.
yeah.
They'll make sure they hit that target, man. Do that thing.
Hey, it's like, if I could say it's possible.
You got it, bro.
I had a dream about that Jerome 2nd chapter twice. Once when I wasn't in the truth, and the second time when I was in the truth, it was like I was walking, I just looked up and I saw a number of missiles, and it had the names of all the countries written on them.
Wow.
And the main name I remember was China. That was written in white, and it was like a big fat atomic bomb that they had. So, hey man, that's all real, man. That's all real.
It says, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords.
Right, they drawing in. You even have China, they buying land in Africa. Whatever reason the Most High putting a spirit on them to, we going after resources, or we going after oil, or this is a better setup. But at the end of the day, they're drawing near to that land, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, for a judgment.
Persian Gulf, yep.
The Persian Gulf.
It says, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
Right, because these were nations of agriculture. But now they're dropping the agriculture and they heaping on war right now. That's a whole mindset that the Most High put on these heathen.
For sure. So Isaiah 54 verse 16. Shlakia. It says, behold, I have created the smith that blow up the coals in the fire. And we know the smith is going into the starting with those Germans that built up the what's up, y'all?
You can reference the movie Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer, right. The Germans that made the atomic bombs. Scientists. The house of atomic energy split into atoms, the water. It says, behold, I've created the smith that blows the coals in the fire. So the Lord created everything ultimately, and has bringing forth an instrument for his work. And I've created the waster to destroy. And that waster is going into those bombs. That's why we've seen it get more and more advanced. Because those smiths are still working, man. You know, the Lord put the spirit on them to create these weapons of war.
Right. And improve their technology.
I got some too.
Yeah, I was going to say that. America, they invest over hundreds of billions of dollars into war every year.
Yeah, well, since you just said that, this is the spirit I was reading it. This is from Air University. It says the United States has spent $19 trillion on its military since the end of the Cold War. This is spending $16 trillion more than China spent, and nearly as much as the rest of the world's combined.
Precept to
Well, that's his blessing to sword.
This is the book of 1 Samuel.
Spend that money on that sword.
Israel was going to war. It's 1 Samuel 13:19. Now there was no smith found throughout all the land of Israel, for the Philistines said, lest the Hebrews make them swords or spears. But all the Israelites went down to the Philistines to sharpen every man his plowshare, his cutler and his axe and his mattocks.
Wow.
Yet they had a file for the mattocks like a pickaxe, and for the coulters, and for the forks, and for the axes, and to sharpen the goads. So in the ancient world, if they didn't have enough weapons to go to war, they'll take actual agricultural tools, sharpen them up, and use it to battle. It's like a person breaking a glass bottle and stabbing somebody with it.
Yeah, right.
You know, so that shows you They preparing. It's all representation of preparing for war.
Moab and Ammon, all their weapons were farming tools. And they turned into the noon truck, which is Japanese.
Yeah, it's true.
So the farming tools and weapons go hand in hand.
Right.
You know?
Kind of precept. You got these different nations, you know, they getting different weapons, and you got North Korea getting weapons from Russia, Iran getting weapons from Russia, Iran sending weapons to Russia, you know, and so forth and so on. So this battle is brutal, and it's going to be a battle fueled by fire. And I got a precept to back what I'm saying up. This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise.
You gotta blow the dust off that one.
Because back in the ancient world, you had hand-to-hand combat, limbs being chopped off, heads being chopped off, guts being spilled on the ground, men screaming, you know. So that was the battle, a manly battle. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, because garments were spilled with blood all over them because they was fighting hand-to-hand combat, and you know, they're stabbing each other, cutting each other, limbs being split, everything. You know what I'm saying? It says, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Like when you say, but this is making, now when you say, but this, when scripture say, but this, now it's making distinguish from wars in past time and the war to come.
That's the
Because
difference.
Isaiah, when Isaiah saw the vision, he made a comparison from ancient wars and the war that's to come. This war to come is going to be fought by fire. So you say, well, but this war or this battle is going to be with burning and fuel of fire.
We said on multiple warheads. Within them warheads, it's nothing but pure fire.
Because what you call it, as knowledge increases and human civilization advances, so does your methods of warfare.
Absolutely.
You know, imagine going into World War I fighting like Alexander. You will lose. You will lose. Because by that time, technology had got so advanced that they'll put all of them ancient battles to shame.
Right.
So now, with the way technology is today, it's nothing. Like it'll be like the world has never seen before.
Drop them all, yep. To add what he was saying, the apostles always bring this out. When you go into the statue in Daniel, it goes from gold to silver to bronze.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a less delicate kingdom, if you will, but it's a stronger military kingdom. Yeah, because they got
Even if when they got look at the minerals, gold, silver, bronze, you know.
Iron metal will rip through a gold. I mean, iron sword will rip through a gold sword.
Yeah, exactly. And now, who was the great iron teeth? The Roman Empire. And we're still under the
We went
Roman
through that
Empire today.
today.
You know, this is the last leg.
We went through that at the camp today.
Oh, you did? That's
Yeah,
spirit.
that's the spirit.
Joel 3:10. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Right. These nations were weak, but now they saying they strong. All right. They was weak. They fell back. Once America, going back to the Oppenheimer movie, he dropped them bombs. Everybody chilled. You know. But now, why? Because they dealing with Russia, and the Lord is putting a spirit on them, and the technology. Everybody got a missile now. You know.
That's it, real quick, bro. Real quick. I just thought of something. The spirit. I see it said, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. A person that just has a plowshare, you're weak because you can't use it for battle. But if you beat it or sharpen it to a sword, now you're strong enough to go into battle. So it's like, spirit, bro. That's how the scripture is.
And that's Ezekiel 21. The sword is sharpened. Yeah, to make a sore slaughter.
Yes.
That also lines up with Revelation 6. The red beast was given power to kill. And just, so there you go, man.
Even the pruning hook, bro. Rather than just to hook the shit to you, now you got a fucking spear to throw at a motherfucker coming at you, man.
Right. Technology ties hand in hand with prophecy. For prophecy to go further, technology has to. There's no way you can have the chip back in, like you said, like Alexander time. The technology has to be there.
Right.
You even got sickles that's used for weapons of war. A sickle is an instrument that's like a round thing, and it got a handle, and it's used to
Knock down the wheat.
It's like a sight.
so a sickle could be used as a weapon of war.
This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 18. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire. And that's the angels that's going to be over them nuclear missiles, stopping them from NORAD and those different anti-missile defense systems that Esau has. You know, Scripture say one shall not thrust another. And that's pretty much what the anti-missile defense does. It's pretty much a missile that shoots another missile out the sky. So it says, and cried with a loud voice to him that had the sharp sickle, which is Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai is the grim reaper, so to speak, man. Okay? It says, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. So you're going to have certain grape, okay, that's going to be smashed. Okay, which are you people pretty much, man. Right. And y'all going to be putting that wine press. The wine press is America, and Yahweh Shai is going to come with them big spiritual feet and smash all y'all people like grapes. That's why the scriptures tell you in Revelation, it's like in Isaiah 63, that the blood shall be sprinkled on his garments, man, in a spiritual sense. Because he's going to shed a whole lot of blood. The scripture said the slain of the Lord shall be many. And that day from one end of the earth unto the other.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
But then in Isaiah, it also tells you about that one grape of the cluster. So you got the grape of the cluster, that's the elect that's going to be delivered, man. Okay?
That's the elect, yep. All right, let's go. Let's go.
All right, Joel 3 and 11.
You can swat it, just don't swat me.
Joel 3 and 11. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about.
Right, they gathering themselves together. The BRICS, they gathering themselves. Okay, Esau gonna be betrayed by NATO and the EU. Okay, they gonna hate the whore. All right, everybody's gathered up, and the reason why is because America's in a way. All right, for them in their minds, America is in a way for them doing their transactions. It's easier for us to get oil through Russia. It's easier to deal with China. You don't want us to deal with China and the chips. So it's too much for the EU where America's in a way. All right, so they gather themselves together. They having their own meetings.
I got a precept to that. Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger.
So they taking pictures looking good, but they don't know they coming together for judgment. That's what it's all for the Most High to just pour out. The Lord got a lot of backed up anger, man. All right, and he's gonna let it loose.
For all the...
I read an article yesterday, just touching on your topic, that said China now has Taiwan completely surrounded by warships and air and fighter jets.
Check that out. They just waiting for America to make a move. They just waiting to make a move, man.
Right. So things are getting really. I'm slacking.
No. You go ahead, finish it.
Things are getting really serious now.
I was gonna say,
boil down to a Mexican standoff. Look up Mexican standoff.
Mexican standoff.
It says, for all the...
How many of y'all saw that movie, True Romance? That's an excellent movie. I should have got an Oscar. What am I gonna say? The last end, the scene of the movie, it was a Mexican standoff. You had the police, and you had the gangsters, and they just like, fuck it, you know, we gonna kill each other. Look up the word Mexican standoff.
It's a Mexican standoff from Wikipedia. A Mexican standoff is a confrontation where no strategy exists that allows any party to achieve victory. Any party initiating aggression might trigger their own demise. At the same time, the parties are unable to extract themselves from the situation without suffering a loss.
So watch the movie True Romance, the end scene, they look, I hate fucking cops. Like the guy said, I'm a cop. He said, I hate fucking cops. Then they just opened up on each other, man. And there was blood all over the place, man. You know? Hey, brother, you're gonna regret the fact that you never watched that movie. Because Bun Yum Yum, remember Yum Yum? He told me to watch the movie. He said, here's a movie. That's a true romance. I'm not into love story. He said, no, this ain't no love story. I watched the movie. That's one of my favorite movies. But at the end of the movie, that was a Mexican standoff.
Kind of the same thing in Reservoir Dogs.
Yo, I was just about to
Oh,
say
you was
that.
about to say, yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, go ahead, Doc.
In True Romance, they was talking about how Sicilians are really niggas. He was like, and then Christopher Waken killed the dude for saying that he's a nigga. He said, well, you an eggplant. And he said he shot him. He said, why he killed him? He said he called him a nigga. Because he was
because in that movie goes into the whole thing about the Moors and the Sicilians. Because these Sicilian guys are all Sicilians, so he basically told them, you guys are a bunch of niggas. And they got mad. Now, there was this show where they had the different actors on. This guy would interview him, right? And they had, what's the guy that played the father of Hurley? What's the guy that played the guy?
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper. He was a guest on the show. So Jake, go ahead.
I'm just listening, brother.
Okay. And so you saw the movie True Romance? You ever see that movie?
True Romance, a little bit. Christian Slater's in it.
You saw the whole movie? You saw the whole movie?
Not the whole movie.
You got to see the whole movie, man. One of the best movies out. But anyway, they had this guy. What's his name?
Dennis Hopper. Yeah.
And some Jake asked him a question about that scene. You know what he did? He said, I didn't know what he was talking about. I was just reading the script. That motherfucker knows, man. He knows.
Yeah.
So they and they forecast it. They focus on it in that movie. Now, what you got to do is, if you can get True Romance and get the commentator, the DVD. Tarantino is a Sicilian, so you know he's a nigga. So he said, I think he said my mom's boyfriend, he was a Jake, and he said, you know the Moors, they popped all the Sicilians. So the Sicilians are really niggas. So that's why he put it in the movie. Because if his mom's uncle or whatever, a mom's boyfriend or whatever the case may be. So he featured it in the movie, man. You know? That's why, hey brother, they give you the truth in the movies, man. They should give you a little bit of truth in the movies.
True Romance. That's my movie.
Also, can I get this on the camera? It's the Mexican standoff.
Was that from?
It's a Mexican standoff.
That's an actual event, though.
No. I was gonna say this is the Mexican standoff.
Hey brother, that movie.
I'm gonna check it out tonight. A little later tonight.
It's a good movie, bro. You ain't gonna regret it either,
Man,
bro.
I know, bro.
True Romance gonna make a believer out of you.
What's the main one that you got an Oscar for? You got a claim for
Pulp Fiction.
That was the movie that they gave him a claim, but the real movie was True Romance. That's where she got all the fucking awards. It was way better than Pulp Fiction. Way better. Way better. Oh yeah.
Django.
Right. Yep.
Okay, let's go.
Joel 3 in verse 12. It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
I think Isaiah 14, it says he stirred up the dead, you know, the kings, the Mithi. All right, that's in correlation as well. Okay.
For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is...
Yeah, not too long ago, man, China's claim to fame was bicycles. You remember that? Back in the 70s, all you saw was the so-called Chinese on the bicycles. Now look at the technology they got. That's the scripture coming to pass, man. That's prophecy coming to pass.
Moab is my wash pot. What is Moab doing? He's washing everybody, man. You know?
So-called Chinese, they known also for just stealing the technology. So what they'll do is, like, let's say the state of Israel buys something from America, the Chinese will buy it from Israel and reverse engineer it. So a lot of the shit they just steal it. They just copy it. I think it was an F-22 jet that crashed last year. Yeah, and the Chinese, they were scrambling to get that shit, their hands on that shit, man, but they didn't.
Are they over there in Africa, buying up Africa?
Jamaica too.
Yeah.
Moab is my wash pot.
Benjamin got a problem with the so-called Chinese in Jamaica, man. The Chinese man, the damn Chinese man.
Because America still got all the German scientists. They might be going by English names or Jewish names, but when it comes to the technology, the Americans still got them Germans. So that's how come the Americans have the F-22 Raptors and the stealth bombers. They got a new one called the B-7. It's the advance to the B-2. It looked like a so-called UFO. They got this new this bomber out. If you look at it, it looks just like a flying saucer. Bro, the creator of the B-2 bomber, he saw a chariot and mimicked the chariot. So that's why
Hey, the so-called, if I may say, the so-called Chinese, they're over there building highways. There's this dude I watch, his channel is I Am Mawa, and he was going out, he went back to his country in Kenya, he was going over this highway and he said, yes, the Chinese built this.
Yeah, they built them in Jamaica too.
Yeah, so that's the scripture, how's it go? Let the weak say I'm strong. Let the weak say I'm strong. Yeah.
Oh, and if you look closely about Taiwan, and the reason why China wants to take hold of it, Taiwan is in control of 60% of producing of semiconductors, and over 90% of most advanced semiconductors. Now, the reason why this is important because it says most of the major U.S. defense systems rely on semiconductor technology.
They have
So the fact that they build nuclear missiles, they need that semiconductor technology, which is in Taiwan, which is controlled by China. So, yeah, so it's literally like chokeholding America from defending itself militarily.
You gotta understand something too. China, the Biden administration, I think it's in Oklahoma or one of these, or even Florida or California, they got this. They're building a factory where they build semiconductors and chips. That's Taiwan made. The Taiwanese government, a company in America, and they build it, and that's why they destroyed that company over in Taiwan. You know, so they got a duplicate company over in. They're trying to control what's going. The chips, all the chips that go into these cars is made in Taiwan. So with the semiconductors.
What do you need to stack the chips? What do you need to stack the chips?
What do you mean to stack?
What do you mean to stack? You got to stack the chips.
Motherboard?
Huh?
Motherboards?
Nope.
Oh, you mean like a precious metal?
Is it lithium?
Nope.
It's not opium. What's it?
Nope.
Not cobalt, right?
It's something that Ukraine has abundance of.
Cobalt?
Neon gases.
Okay.
When you stack the chip, you need the neon gases. Why do you think the U.S. is giving so many billions to Ukraine? Because they don't want Russia.
Wow.
See, Russia takes Ukraine, China takes Taiwan.
Yeah.
They work with each other.
Got it.
Oh, we got the chips. And another thing, the Taiwanese, they've been doing the chips for so long, they're experts at doing it. The Chinese can't put it together the way they do it because that's all they do. That's their expertise. So that's another reason why China just can't take it over. They got to make Taiwan part of China to control it. The same thing goes. Hey, the Germans, they made a pact with the U.S. that they're not going to buy anything from Russians, but they're catching hell with the oil and the gas.
Yeah.
Because they get at a cheaper price. So the Germans are saying, "Fuck America, we're gonna buy this shit anyway." And the French are doing the same thing. So guess what? That's gonna cause what? Revelation 17 and 12 going down. Plus you know that by heart. Because America's saying do this and don't do that. They say, what the fuck? We gonna starve. Fuck you. They're all gonna hate him. They're all gonna hate her.
Right.
So this man, hey, this is gonna be nothing but a Mexican standoff, man.
Basically.
That's all it is, man. They put their nose in too many business, but anytime America wants to support a country, it's because of the resources. They don't want another country to take it. Remember, the neon gases and the chip, which is Taiwan and Ukraine. Russia get Ukraine, China gets Taiwan. They come together. They can call embargo. You know what an embargo is, right? An embargo is when you have something you don't get, like when America did to Cuba. We ain't giving you nothing. You're gonna starve. So as soon as Russia and China get together, they can say, fuck America, and then guess what? No more cars. You can't make no more cars. Because you need chips. Y'all done got me started, man.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to get quiet, but go ahead.
I got a little bit on an article. This is from CSIS.org. Semiconductors in national defense. What are the stakes? All major U.S. defense systems and platforms rely on semiconductors for their performance. Consequently, the erosion of U.S. capabilities in microelectronics is a direct threat to the United States' ability to defend itself and its allies. Moreover, the U.S. civilian economy is deeply dependent on semiconductor-based platforms for its daily operations, ensuring U.S. leadership in semiconductor technology and securing an integrity of the value chains that design, manufacture, package, and distribute these chips are perhaps the preeminent economic and national security concerns of the modern era.
And if you hold the semiconductors, you could have an inflation on a lot of things. When the PS5 first dropped, they were going for like $2,000–$3,000 because they couldn't mass produce them because they was limited to these chips. So like you said, the chips are in everything. So if they hold the embargo on that, a car could go for like $200,000. A car that was worth $20,000 could be $200,000 because we just can't manufacture it.
Yep. I think that major company is Nvidia.
Yeah,
for them chips. Yeah.
You got all these electric car companies popping up over anywhere, man. If you buy an electric car, you're stupid.
Yeah, that's just a control.
You're dumb.
You can't go off grid with an electric car.
Facts.
Every 3 hours, you got to charge the shit. You got to plug it back in.
They're going to outlaw the internal combustion car. They're going to outlaw it. 2030, you can only have an electric car. And they control it.
15-minute city.
Okay? 15, 20-minute city. We got 2 minutes, brother. Let's come on.
It says,
how many more verses we got?
we got 9. We're in verse 13. So it's about 9 verses, about 8 more, 8 or 9 more. About 8 or 9 more.
Go ahead.
Verse 12 meant to say Yahweh Shabbat. Water. Yeah, mention it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So
the Most High's judgment. Water.
Yeah. Reading on Joel 3:13. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great.
Right. Second Esdras, the 3rd chapter, it spoke on that. You know, what if that grain of evil seed, you know, brought forth much fruit? Right. You know, and now the Most High is about to clean it up. You know, the sins of Babylon reaching to the heavens. So
time to harvest it.
It's time to harvest it. Judgment, maturity. That's the full maturity.
It says multitudes in the valley of decision.
Right. These are the armies. Also, 2 Esdras 15. It says the Carmanians shall come raging. You know, again, the Euphrates River drying up to prepare the way for the kings of the east.
It says, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened.
Right. You got solar eclipses, lunar eclipses. I believe there was it was supposed to be one that was hitting South America real soon. Yeah, I seen it in the news. It was supposed to be pretty much hitting the side of South America where they were supposed to see like a solar eclipse, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, okay.
But also, that comes out to that the Most High going to show signs in heaven as well.
Yep.
And also the missiles too.
The missiles blocking out the light. Right. The water.
It says, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Lord also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. But the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength.
That's the force of the missiles exploding. The earth shall shake. It says that also in Haggai 2 and 6.
Okay, shake the earth?
Yeah, once more I rise to shake the earth. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. What was that, Isaiah 24? So a lot of people going to have heart attacks on the earth.
Yeah.
The earth reeling, man, to and fro.
And the strength of the children of Israel. So shall ye know that I am Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, your power.
Right. That's when the Most High speaks on, like the Romans, the 9th chapter, how his name was glorified through the judgment he did to Egypt.
Right.
This main judgment is also going to spread the name of the Lord into these nations fearing, and Israel's going to fear. Everybody's going to fear. And remember, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
I got that for you real quick. This is Psalms 9 and 16. The Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executed.
Beautiful.
The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands, like you just mentioned. You know, the Most High brings forth his judgment, and his name gets declared throughout the earth. Just like he said, he created the smith, because he's like, you know, it's me. I'm ultimately the one that's bringing in that power.
Right.
You know?
One thing, and that's what when they went to Rahab the harlot, that's what she said. We heard what you did to the Egyptians. So the Most High's name was ringing bells, man. Now it's gonna be Yahushua's name that's gonna be ringing them bells, man.
Right along with the Most High's name.
That's right along.
Yep. No, you're right. Go ahead.
It says, so shall you know that I am Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, your power dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain.
Right, you're gonna know the Lord because the prophet spoke about it. So when it's done, everybody's gonna know what this is the Lord's judgment. Because I heard his men speaking about these things, right?
Yeah, after he bring that major ass whooping, everybody gonna know who did it.
That's right.
Quick precept. Then he's gonna be like, "Don't fuck with me."
Quick precept.
Yeah.
This is in Romans 9 and verse 22. What if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction? No, just back at the point.
Beautiful. Go ahead, bro.
Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore.
Right. Ain't nobody else gonna take over Jerusalem. They say the saints shall possess the kingdom. You know, right. Nobody else is gonna come out after that. Nobody got next but us.
The land is gonna be beautified.
Yes.
Gonna have that glorious kingdom, man. Oh man.
That's right.
That's right. Rest.
It says,
Hey, you got that.
and it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop down new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk.
We're gonna have an abundance of resources.
Isaiah the 60th chapter, the wealth of the Gentiles.
Yeah, the law of the Heavenly Father will be in full effect.
Con.
Right. Esau will be a thing of the past.
Right.
Because he'll be in slavery.
And all the rivers of Judah shall flow with waters, and a fountain shall come forth of the house of the Lord, and shall water the valley of Shittim. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness.
Esau, Edom. All right, America, Babylon, also known as Egypt, spiritually Sodom and Egypt.
Beautiful.
So you know this place is gonna burn. It says it's gonna be burning.
Well, according to Nate, though, it's going to burn forever, though. How you explain the desolate wilderness?
Right.
For the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation.
Right. These are the Israelites. They're going to dwell forever and ever. All right.
For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion.
Right. Ezekiel 36 says that he shall wash us away, give us a new heart. All right. So the Lord is going to be inside of us, and we're going to pretty much perfect it, man. Right. That's good. Right.
That's it?
That was it.
All right.
So, what time is it? 7:06. Y'all did good. It's a good breakdown. Anyway, we're gonna do this quick. You know, we gotta eat. I don't know. My back was killing me. Your back was.
Oh yeah,
last
man.
week I was good.
I'm doing the killing back dance.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Anyway, call it.
Call Yeshua, Amadu, Barak, Yadam Bata, dismissed.